Tradition. You can't buy it. It's earned the hard way over decades and eras. On the field, on the road, in the mud. With guts and with grit, and firm belief that today could be our day. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is back. Still alive, still kicking, the oldest prize in American soccer. 96 teams, part-timers to major leaguers. Survive and move on, lose and you go home. So we call all underdogs, dreamers and believers. And we ask you again, one simple question. Are you up for the cup?
Well, we hope you're up for the cup because this is round one of the 110th Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. And tonight from Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, we've got a USL League 2 versus USL League 1 matchup between the visiting FC Naples and Sarasota Paradise. Alongside Carmen Boquin, I'm Josh Appel. Thanks so much for joining us. And Carmen, let's take a look at our club profiles first year for Sarasota.
Well, this is going to be really exciting. Both clubs having their U.S. Open Cup debut. Sarasota Paradise founded in 2022. They started playing in 2023, and they're going to move up to USL League 1 next year, so that's going to be interesting for them. And, of course, they have all their hopes high in this, which is the start of a nice rivalry, being just separated for, less than 2 hours from each other.
Now, we expect a lot of folks making the trip from Naples to see their hometown club in USL League 1. It's their first Open Cup appearance. It's their first season of existence. And Matt Poland, no stranger to making a run of the U.S. Open Cup.
And they've been doing great so far. 2 games, 1 draw, 1 win, which was the last one. This is their third game, debuting in the U.S. Open Cup. Also a lot of enthusiasm, just trying to get the best of the club. Again, FC Naples visiting Sarasota. It's going to be really exciting to watch right now.
So here's how the teams will line up today. Eric Walker, Lalo Delgado, the keeper matchup today. A lot of pro talent on this FC Naples side. You've got players who have USL Championship experience, other players who have made their professional debuts coming from academies. And interestingly enough, for Sarasota, Carmen, a lot of hometown flavor on this side today.
That's a whole nother story. They start competing in May, and many of that summer roster is still in college season, so they had to find a lineup of local stars. They're calling them the hometown heroes, which are going to be today on the field, ready to take the task and see if they can make it out of this round one. And what do they have to do against FC Naples? And this, as they quoted, the battle for paradise, which is just beginning against FC Naples, like you mentioned. A different roster. They already started competing, so it's just a different feel. We'll see who ends up being the one that makes the difference tonight after these 90 minutes.
It's the inaugural matchup between these two clubs. Might throw it down as a Floridian derby.
Yeah.
2-hour drive along I-75, as you mentioned, that separates the two cities. And as we also said, Sarasota is going to be joining League 1 next season. So this is just a taste of what could be a budding rivalry in USL League 1 for years to come. But today, they'll be battling to move on into the second round of the U.S. Open Cup. And for both clubs, whichever one comes out on top, it'll be the first one. So here's the Open Cup schedule. Second round coming up in a couple of weeks on April 1st and April 2nd. See all that culminating with the U.S. Open Cup final on October 1st.
How exciting it is to be opening this U.S. Open Cup 2025. Of course, round one, so many teams just starting to join after, but this round of 32 has to be, one of the favorite, because it's going to be those 32 teams that end getting passed through this single elimination to make it to the second round.
So we are just about ready for the start of tonight's match. Round one, FC Naples, Sarasota Paradise, USL League 1 versus USL League 2. And a packed house here at Lakewood Ranch. Great to see these two clubs about to start their growth, and who will take a massive step in that growth with a victory here tonight.
And we get to see a lot of how much they're getting the support from the communities, having nice things to do over, the game days. And that's one of the best things, and the opportunity to showcase themselves in the U.S. Open Cup.
And play in front of a great crowd like this as well. Televised match in the oldest tournament in North American soccer. Couldn't have asked for better weather tonight either. No threat of rain. Wonder how those shadows, though, may affect things until the sun goes down here in Lakewood Ranch. Well, for us, we're in the shade, thankfully. For the players and the fans on the opposite side baking in that sun right now, they're probably just counting down the seconds until the sun goes down and nightfall is upon us.
I love the tagline of the battle for the paradise, because we're so lucky to have so many paradise places in South Florida. And of course, both Sarasota and Naples are gorgeous. And, it's a fun idea of showcasing who's going to end up with that battle, winning at least today and moving up into the next round.
So it's an upstart FC Naples side. It's a Sarasota Paradise side in its infancy. Coming off of a division title last season, eliminated in the postseason. This is a whole new type of pressure for a lot of young up-and-comers. You're just about ready to go. Referee tonight, Madzi Korik. Josh Appel, Carmen Boquin, proud to bring this one for you and to you here tonight. And we're underway in round one of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. FC Naples in the white, Sarasota in the dark jerseys. On their side, this is Ian Garrett. Naples side that has begun the season unbeaten. Massive win against Forward Madison, a mainstay in League One. Naples' last league match, Henderlong with a brace. He's not in the starting 11 tonight, but he is available for selection, Carson Henderlong, the 24-year-old. Naples on the throw-in, defending on that side by Travis Ward. Kept alive, though, by Naples. Now taken by Sarasota, and they're on the move. Well defended along that touchline, and Chris Solari couldn't keep it in. And a throw-in coming for FC Naples. Jaden Onen. He says, you know what, I'll let Ian Garrett take this. That throw took a while to get to its intended target, pinballed around, and now Naples has to retreat, and it's played back to FC Naples captain, the goalkeeper, Lalo Delgado. Could we be in for a first-round cup set? Sarasota at home, but they're the League Two side against the League One side, FC Naples. Long ball over the top. Defended well by Sarasota. Ian Garrett for Onen. Down the left side. Tried to give and go, but it was deflected back towards midfield. Velasquez. Oh, nasty tackle there by Garrett. As Rojas took a spill. No card, just a foul.
And there you see it, like it's in the midfield. You're just trying to recover the ball. Quite unnecessary to do so. A little bit of a, quote unquote foolish mistake. Understandable. You're just starting the match. You're the team that has already played 2 games, like you mentioned. And the excitement, the thrilling moment of getting the debut in the Lamar hunt has to be there, of course.
Surprised there was no yellow given.
I think it's too early in the game to start showing cards. Maybe just the warning and see how it evolves.
Onan putting a lot of pressure there on Travis Ward, and Ward nearly gave it away. It'll be a throw in though for Sarasota. As Carmen mentioned in our open, Sarasota playing with a lot of local flavor in this match. Brought in a lot of what they call hometown heroes because their normal roster that'll play their league season still finishing out the college semester before they can join up here with Sarasota. That one sent all the way down, and Eric Walker will be able to handle it. Keeper for Sarasota. Ball to the left side. It'll be a throw in here for Sarasota.
Early start, feeling like Sarasota wants to, gain a little bit of control, trying to do a few creations of attack toward Delgado's goalkeeping. Just during this near flank, but now just trying to switch it some little bit more, maybe from the other side they're able to get closer. We'll see the early reaction of FC Naples to see what they can try doing. As long as they start getting the ball, it's going to change some more.
First corner of the match belongs to Sarasota. See if they can generate anything from it. Towards the back post, flicked back up into the air, but into the supporter section of FC Naples, who again made the about 2-hour drive up to Lakewood Ranch. It's great to see how the community in Naples has embraced this club in its infancy.
And you were talking about how many were going to make the drive. They did, and they're actually called La Barra 239, which is the supporters group, and you can see clearly there the everything of them just showcasing the support for their club after 2 amazing games at home, and now it's time to have another one in the U.S. Open Cup.
Just underway in the first round. Great conversation with Matt Poland, the manager for FC Naples. And I mentioned it briefly, but Poland, in a previous stop, he was the head coach of Chicago House. He led House to back-to-back Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup appearances. And in 2023, led by Poland, House made it to the 3rd round of the tournament during a 15-game unbeaten streak. Knocked off one of their league foes, Bavarian United SC, at home before they traveled to USL League One side Forward Madison, who Poland and FC Naples beat in their league play last week. In that match against Forward Madison, thrilling overtime victory. Poland's side came back from a 2-goal deficit in the 70th minute, which was the biggest comeback for an amateur side against a professional club in U.S. Open Cup play since 1995. Fortunately, their run came to an end at the hand of Chicago Fire out of MLS. But at the time, Chicago House became just the 9th amateur team to face an MLS team in the 110 years of the tournament.
Can this be his 3 out of 3 of, keep advancing? We'll see how the match ends.
They're certainly playing well in league play. This is the 112th edition of the U.S. Open Cup. Drive from distance, worm burner handled by Lalo Delgado. And Poland squads are 8-2-0 all time in U.S. Open Cup competitions. Their 2 losses, Chicago Fires we just mentioned, and Minnesota United FC 2.
And talking about Lalo Delgado, I was watching the highlight from the Forward Madison game. He made such an amazing save. Mexican-American goalkeeper. Tremendous save to keep his team, without conceding another one in that second game. And in the first game, he also had a few really good saves. So you can tell how important it is to keep building the team coming from such a good goalkeeper in the back.
It's a very experienced group they've put together for FC Naples. They've got high hopes, especially given the start to their League One schedule. Unbeaten to this point. Onan stayed onside, tracks it down. Ian Garrett. Breck Evans slides it across. Dengler. Comes back towards the near side for Onan. Shielded off well by Rodriguez. Kept alive, though, by Naples. Running to the inside, Torres. He goes down. Good tackle, though, from Sarasota. Naples able to thwart any counterattack the other way.
The idea of FC Naples from coming from one flank to the other, just switching it, and having Onan, do his thing. But here it was such a great recovery movement from Sarasota just to be able to get that ball back. Clean and perfect.
So throw in coming for Sarasota Paradise. USL League 2. Travis Ward will throw in. Tried to fit it to Kyle Carr. And Carr centers it with nobody home. And it's cleared away by Breck Evans. Settled down by Javon Rodriguez. And now Travis Ward again. Ill-advised pass results in a throw-in for Naples.
We were talking that they already played 2 games, 1 draw and 1 win. 4 substitutions made coming from that match. You mentioned already Henderlong with that brace. It's also Connor, Halterman, and Farine and Glasner, who stayed on the bench. We'll see if they get minutes later on, but they were playing, 2 games in 7 days.
Slivic starts it the other way. Advantage given? No, they finally did blow the whistle for the foul. Nifty move on that end. So it'll be a free kick from long range here for Sarasota. What have you made of the first 10 minutes so far?
So Sarasota has been feeling comfortable in one way or the other by recovering balls, putting a little bit of pressure. But there were a few minutes where Naples felt like was going to control so much more of the ball.
Good ball. It's Pasnick, being watched closely by Velasquez. And Velasquez wins that with the help of Rodriguez. Slivic finds space in the middle. To the outside it comes off the feed. Down the left side into the box and then cut off. Rolls out for a goal kick.
And it came from a free kick to a possibility for FC Naples, and then just a counter attack really quickly led by Sarasota. They're putting a lot of pressure just trying to get back the ball, and it's been working so far for them. But still, no clear shots on goal.
Try to go over the top again. Walker sends it away. Somehow stayed in along that touchline on the far side. Sarasota resets. Ian Garrett comes over to get it. back for Breck Evans. Captain Lalo Delgado, the keeper. Onan couldn't handle that. Naples 1-0-1 in their league play. We asked Matt Poland this week just some of the challenges that come with being a first-year team and some of the unknowns that come along with it. And he said, look, you don't know what to expect from the start of the season, so we're very pleased with where we are given the short duration of time that we've been together as a team. And one of the things that, Carmen, we also heard about Matt Poland and the way that he has handled this group, the way he's able to communicate and get his message across and what he wants these guys to execute. It's been well received.
That's always important. You know, after the first game, you can see that he's going to clearly go in terms of just wanting to have the possession, building from the back, creating that attack really vertical. But then in the second game, he didn't have most of the possession, but still he was able to get good chances, score 2 goals, and end up winning. That speaks to you a lot about how he's going to be training and talking to the players in terms of understanding what they want them to do. And that's always great to see in a head coach. And of course, then see it in the players being able to respond to it.
Proof is in the pudding. As we pointed out, Poland very successful in his previous stops. And a return home for him as well from the Naples area.
And you know, I have news.
You have news?
So yeah, so they're going to be facing the winner from the Hatford Athletic New York Shockers. And they're already winning Hatford Athletics 2-0.
We lead for them. Play on. Sarasota defended that last chance well on the shot block. Sarasota looks to advance. We've completed 15 minutes here in the first round of the 112th Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Josh Appel, Carmen Boquin with you from Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. First of what we expect to be many matchups between these two clubs, and what a way for the inaugural matchup here in the first round. Sarasota might have something cooking, try to center it out in front. And Lalo Delgado dove out to corral it.
They're taking their time. They're building from the back, trying to open as much as they can the field. What a great run here, trying to find Velasquez. He was going diagonal in terms of getting faster to that ball, but you know, this was not the best chance that they've had so far.
Matt Poland told us this week that, you know, getting that first win in club history, it was exciting, but also the manner in which they did it. Kind of sitting in, holding on to that 2-0 lead, defensively disciplined. They put in the effort, they put in the work, running for each other. And it paid off with 3 points. Their win over Forward Madison, first in club history. Walker aggressive off his line, and he had to be there. Makes the smart play. That one settles down for Sarasota. That's Kyle Carr. Went down and lost it, and then it's clear. Kept alive by Solari. Velasquez tried to turn. Naples had that well scouted. Garrett. Onan couldn't handle it. And Slivic lost it. Torres for FC Naples. Chris Heckenberg for Garrett with room. New club brings new expectations. Matt Poland, though, not trying to put any pressure on his team. Biggest expectation that he has is that week to week, month to month, they see incremental growth in their identity. One more look at that push there.
Yeah, because, you know, in terms of numbers, possession has been definitely on the FC Naples side. And Sarasota Paradise, they've been, like, falling into just going behind the ball, trying to recover, get a good breakaway. And that's why we're seeing so many big clashes in the midfield in terms of who gets the possession first.
Good ball here. Save made. It's a huge one from Delgado. A long-range attempt goes wide. First big chance for either side tonight. Sarasota's acquitted themselves well in the early going.
And this could easily have changed the near future of the match. It was such a great save. You got to say it, how he was so concentrated exactly where to put himself after that first shot. Sarasota Paradise is here to get a win, and it's going to make it really hard for Naples FC in the papers. You know, you would think that they're the team that's going to advance, but it's not going to be easy for them, and they have to fight it throughout the whole 90 minutes.
It's a great combo, great give and go that led to that chance. Thankfully for FC Naples, as you pointed out, Lalo Delgado.
What a save.
Garrett, ooh, nice move. And Velasquez slipping and sliding. Try to pop it over the top for Torres. Giving back. Garrett goes down, awarded the foul. Heckenberg stands over it. On with Perpa. Perpa delivers. Not exactly what he wanted. Sarasota trying to counter the other way. Second minute here in the first half. Sarasota's had the best chance really for either side. Naples, well, they've had possession, they just have not really put together anything threatening it.
No, and you know, many of the play has been coming from the midfield, booting the balls to the right flank where Onan was. He failed a few connections in trying just to control the ball, and I think he's being moved a little bit more into the middle now, putting Pasnik more on the right flank going forward. So we'll see if that makes a different passage of them to get closer to the goal.
One over there on that side by Naples, and the whistle blows for a foul. Matt Poland described the Open Cup as the most chaotic, beautiful, wild, and unpredictable experience. He conveyed to his group how special this experience is. Here's Onan, tracking in, but well defended by Javon Rodriguez, and he saves a corner as well. Excellent effort.
And that was another great ball for him. And then defensively, you know, just pressing as much as they could to be able to stop the play to keep moving forward for FC Naples.
Finally is handled by Onan for Naples. Jake Dengler. Cerro. Onan. Flag came up for offside. And for these types of matches, preparing for them is not always the easiest because, of course, the opponents are unfamiliar. Sometimes there aren't the same kind of resources as far as film to get ready from one side to another. So at the moment, Sarasota's come to play tonight. They were playing very well defensively in the first 25 minutes, but Matt Poland, with the experience coming, foul there against FC Naples. Coming from the amateur side with Chicago House, he's been there, he's done that. He said he's more comfortable of not always knowing about the opponent. You know, and even he was talking about their first league game against Chattanooga. That was their first game of the season. This past weekend for Madison, it was their first game of the season. So really it's something that at this point, not only is Matt Poland from his career used to that type of preparation, but this season, this is the third game where they're facing a team that's playing its first of the year.
Yeah, definitely. And Sarasota, I guess they could have watched both of FC Naples matches to get an idea of where they position themselves, how they move, what they'd like to do. And maybe that's why they've been handling just a little quote-unquote better in terms of not allowing them to do what they wanted to do as a gameplay. But then the reaction, and that's one of the things that we have to love about the U.S. Open Cup, because you never know, in 1 minute, 1 second, one play can change the future of the team who makes that dreaming bigger, right? And definitely not for Lalo Delgado, this could be a 1-0 scoreboard as of now.
Absolutely. Being away from home, conceding that first goal as the road team. Lalo Delgado has kept them level right now, 0-0. Garrett. Not on the same page there with Mark Torres. It's a throw in here for Sarasota. Sarasota's been the better side in this first half. Had the better scoring chance, better defensively. Really, anytime that Naples has attempted to get into the final third, they've just been completely shut down.
Yeah, definitely. They've had possession but not created the necessary chances to do something and force Walker.
This is onside. Is this the first chance for Naples? Wasted opportunity, unfortunately.
Yeah, you finally get to put yourself, you know, in such an important position in the opposite's box, and then you get this shot, maybe not the best one if you had a few seconds to think exactly where you want to put that ball, or maybe just touch it a little bit more, or put it to your teammate that was like coming with you in the play. But that's exactly what's happening, you know, a little bit of the pressure of seeing that you're going to be into 30 minutes of the game and still you haven't had any clear chances so far.
It's Tyler Pasnick who sailed that shot high. Eric Walker is yet to be tested today. Race for it, a little bit of a shove. They let that go. This is Torres. The corner he goes. Eckenberg takes a shot. And to put it lightly, that was off target.
Yeah, you know, again, just transitioning, going maybe from one flank to the other, finding a way of getting a shot. This is, whenever we see this, we always think about desperation. I wouldn't say it that way because they're doing their job, which is just controlling the ball, but they're lacking something, a surprise, an extra pass, or a player who can build the round for them to get closer.
Well, you certainly appreciate the ambition taking that shot. Just hope to get it at least closer to frame. And the man who scored the brace for Naples in their win over Forward Madison in league play last week, Carson Henderlong, he's available for selection tonight, but not in the starting 11. I wonder how long it will be until we see him.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe those 4 changes impact in a way the match, because from the first one to the second, there was only one substitution, which was Cerro starting in the second match, whereas Spurpa starting in the first one. So
player down for Sarasota.
Oh, no, I think, yeah. Coming a little bit from the back, right? And
Javon Rodriguez took the worst of it. And he's the one hunched over right now.
and then they're calling.
For FC Naples here, how might this little stoppage help them regroup a bit? What do you think Matt Poland is telling them at this point?
I think it has to be a blessing in disguise, because as we can clearly see, they're all gathering there. I'm sure Gaffa is gonna give them a few messages. Well, we can see Gaffa here in the corner, and he's actually approaching one of the players, maybe to give them a guidance of how to move and how to do something different, because they had possession, like you said, and they've been dominating the midfield, but then as soon as they get into the attacking third, they lose the spark or the next play that they definitely need to make a difference. So we'll see what he's saying to Cerro, and if they change something position-wise on the field, at least for these next 15 minutes before we go into the halftime.
Check that was actually Travis Ward who was down for Sarasota. Good to see him up, gingerly walking towards that sideline. ready to resume play in just a moment. Looks like Travis Ward will be all right. Return in a second. You're seeing at the bottom of your screen. Just
come on, fans, let's hear it. Let's go Paradise!
Sarasota gets it going. They've had the best chance here in this first half. I think we might see our first booking of the night, and we do. It's on Sleevich, who picks up the yellow.
Yeah, this was again that you know, extra unnecessary movement. You're on the floor, far away from the ball, and you end up just making that. Then he goes and like asks the other player how he's doing, but you know, ends up receiving the first yellow card of the night.
It was Mark Torres who took the spill and caught the worst of that. Kolasevich obviously disagrees with the booking, but they never win that argument. He's saying his jersey got pulled. I wonder how chippy things are going to get here, because again, these are future rivals in USL League One. Sarasota will join League One next season. FC Naples, of course, in their first season this year. Ian Garrett. Jake Dengler. Long down the middle, but too long. And Eric Walker easily handles it. Walker has some professional experience with St. Louis City. 2. MLS Next Pro. There will be some MLS Next Pro teams who will play instead of MLS first teams. 2, one of them. They play tomorrow night.
A little bit extra hard on the fall over there, getting the worst part of it, Velasquez, with that jump from Garrett.
Thought there might have been a foul there, but no whistle. Sarasota faithful here at Premier Sports Campus, not too pleased. FC Naples trying to put something together, but unable to really penetrate that final third. The first 36 minutes of this match. Ian Garrett cuts to the middle. Breck Evans. Pasnick went down, earns the whistle. And again, the Sarasota bench and the fans here not very happy.
Yeah, and mainly because Velasquez has been part of almost all of the other falls. And in this one, I think it was the first time he kind of made, you know, there you can see clearly the little push there in the back.
Martin Korik is the referee. See if FC Naples on this set piece from distance put in a dangerous spot and capitalize.
Heckenberg or Purpa, we'll see who.
Purpa took the last one.
And seems he's taking this one too.
It's Heckenberg who curls one in, takes a pop, and into the hands of Eric Walker.
I'm sorry, I meant to say he's not taking this one. A better chance trying to find a good position for a header over there. Not in the first one. Better deflection from the Sarasota Paradise player. And then in the second ball, it was impossible for one of the forwards to get closer.
Sarasota had everybody well marked there.
Yep.
Best FC Naples could have hoped for was just a fortuitous bounce. Velasquez Battling with Torres. Torres takes him down. Foul given.
Velasquez is definitely turning the Jets on every time he just gets the ball and makes such a perfect diagonal, just trying to find another teammate. In this one, decided to go to the other side, and it's worth it because he ends up getting this free kick from a nice spot.
Just outside the 18. Is this the moment? We see our first breakthrough. Comes the service in, back post. Wonder if that was intentional, if he was going for goal. If he was, not a bad attempt.
No, not at all. For a second, I thought he was going to put, the ball for somebody else to get it, but it seemed it was going directly on goal. Like you said, a good effort.
Onan wanted it back, but not enough pace on the first pass. And Sarasota takes away, but FC Naples gets it right back. Nicely done by Heckenberg. To the outside now, it's Ian Cerro.
And the hometown heroes, maybe they haven't been playing with each other for a while, but
you wouldn't know it.
Sure, they're fast.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, for not having a lot of experience, at least in the short term together, they've held up very well. Garrett. On the turn, it's Pasnick. Pasnick retreats and gives it up to Jaden Onan. Fires one back into the area. Open space here for Velasquez. Sarasota on the counter. Switch sides, but never got to his intended target, and Jake Dengler had it well defended.
I think Velasquez has been running the whole 38 minutes, and it seemed like he lost the idea of exactly where to put it after he was the last man forward.
Cerro. Thought there might have been a foul there, but play continues. Javon Rodriguez. Travis Ward, taken off his foot by Tyler Pasnick. And a throw in for Sarasota. Remember the 40th minute here in the first half. Score, Josh Appel, Carmen Boquin with you from Premier Sports Campus, Lakewood Ranch, Florida, in the first round of the 112th edition of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Single elimination. Every tier of American soccer represented in this tournament. Amateurs, semi-pro, professional, and of course, MLS Giants that'll join this tournament in the later rounds.
Drama, drama, drama.
Who doesn't love a cup set?
And if it doesn't end in the 90 minutes, we have extra time and then PKs.
Must be a winner.
We all love cup upsets, right? The underdog story, it's always gorgeous too.
As we pointed out earlier, we talked about Matt Polden, Chicago House 2023. Made a run to the third round for falling Chicago Fire. Velasquez, he's had such a strong first half. There he is again. Turn on the Jets. He had Solari making a run down the right side and couldn't get it over to him.
Yeah, he need Evans just to stand in front of him to definitely stop him. Definitely for FC Naples, this is a good challenge, because like you mentioned, they had no idea how the team was going to play, who were the players, and then you have to adapt, evolve, and find yourself your way through on the field, and this is a challenge that helps you for what they have up front in terms of the competition in League One.
Enzo Panozzo. Rodriguez now for Sarasota. Bonozo again. Tried to go long unsuccessfully. He'll get another chance though. Scans his options. And he springs Travis Ward. Ward is onside. Ward. Double team. And Onan took it away. Onan and Ian Garrett collapsed, and that was that. Garrett with room to the inside. Naples just seems a little bit too indecisive. Sarasota's been taking full advantage of it.
Feels like they're lacking that final pass. The final third entries has been such a struggle so far in this first half. I'm guessing with the substitutions that can come in the second half, maybe that could change a little bit.
Just wonder how long until we see those changes made. We see a guy like Carson Henderlong scoring a brace against Forward Madison in Naples' first ever victory as a club over the weekend.
Is Onan getting an instruction of moving or something? He was having a conversation from somebody from the bench.
And they're in white, number 10, lifting his arm up now. Calling for it and gets it. Garrett flicks one into the area. Unmarked on, just couldn't put one on target. That was a great ball. And FC Naples had everything there but the finish.
Yeah, maybe the idea and the message ended up coming through. Garrett just such a great ball right there into the space, trying to find the connection. He was 1 second behind, couldn't reach for it
Additional time will be
earlier.
3 minutes.
And it's 2 more minutes.
So hear the announcement, 3 minutes of added time.
Come on, fans, let's give it up for our paradise. Let's go.
Great crowd here in Sarasota. This first ever matchup between these two clubs. That will be USL League One rivals starting next season. Rodriguez plays it back for his keeper, Eric Walker. Onan. Now it's Torres. Cisneros cuts inside. Cisneros tees it up. Oh, just over the bar. Julian Cisneros nearly had FC Naples on the board in the waning moments of the first half.
And such a great shot, you know. He did everything. He had the effort, put himself in a good position. What a great chance coming towards the end of this first half. Unfortunately goes off and not into the space that he definitely wanted it.
excellent job creating space for himself and quality opportunity, just a little bit too high. So here's what happened that resulted in the player down for Naples.
Yeah, it was that clash over there.
I believe that's Tyler
Solari.
Pasnick.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I meant that the clash was with Solari.
Yeah.
But then the referee allowed the play to go, and good that he did, because it was a great opportunity for FC Naples.
Pasnick now sitting up. It looks like that right leg is what's being looked at the moment. Good to see him up on his feet. He has some words for our referee tonight. Looks like he should be good to stay in the match. Walker sends it away. Onan. As Naples tries for one more chance before the half. Onan, can he get there? No, he's cut off well, but it will be a corner for FC Naples right before the half ends. This will likely be the last opportunity for either side before Madzid Korik blows the halftime whistle. Chris Heckenberg will take the corner. In swinger towards the back post. It's a good ball, but well positioned Sarasota. It's flicked back into the area, cleared up in the air again. Pasnick tried to turn and fire. Instead, he's met with a dark jersey in his face and the halftime whistle here from Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. So, Carmen, no score at the half. FC Naples started towards the end to kind of figure things out, but Sarasota felt like the better side in the first half.
Definitely a better phase of FC Naples during the final minutes of this first half, and well done by Sarasota Paradise, just being able to hold, to control, to get really good balls in the midfield, and then have their good opportunities.
It's the first round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup in 2025. First time ever these two sides are meeting in each their first ever appearance in this tournament. Back with more from Lakewood Ranch after this.
Sounds good.
Testing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hit it, Dave. Come back here. No problem. Set it up right here. Where he's hitting this way. Yeah.
One lucky fan has the opportunity to make 3 putts. If the fan makes the first putt, they receive a BOGO. If the fan makes 2 putts, their row receives a BOGO. And if the fan makes 3 putts, their section receives a BOGO. Let's give it up for Henry.
Ooh, almost there for Henry. One more. Going. Oh. One more for Henry. Let's give it up for Henry, everyone. Louder than that. Come on, Henry. It's his birthday. Oh! Pop stroke for Henry and the family. Everybody give it up for Henry. One more time. Birthday boy. Yeah, very good. Want to thank everybody for coming out today. I think the crowd is bigger than what we ever could have thought. Hope everyone's having a good time, and we are Paradise. One more announcement. Everyone's getting food and relaxing during halftime. We have picked one special fan out of 2,000 fans attending today to win our 2025 home jersey. And that fan is Amy Astori, who's sitting in the East stand. So Amy, after the game, head over to the team store to get your 2025 Sarasota Paradise jersey.
Halftime here, Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, Sarasota Paradise and FC Naples. Sarasota out of USL League 2, FC Naples out of USL League 1. Josh Appel, Carmen Bokeen. Let's take a look at some other first round scores from around the U.S. Open Cup tonight. Hartford in the 72nd minute. That'll be the team that, or the winner of that one will face the winner of our game. And Hartford out of USL Championship is in control. Miami FC on top of Naples United 2-0 at the half. How about that? Top right, Loudoun United out of USL Championship trailing Westchester. Wow. We have our first cup set brewing. And then New Jersey Alliance, a 1-0 lead over Chattanooga, a League One side at the half as well. Let's take a look at our first half highlights here from Lakewood Ranch.
And definitely, you know, this was one of those key and important moments, just showing a little bit how Delgado was going to be ready to disallow any big opportunity in that one, just getting the ball. But this one was the biggest save so far. And then the good clearance from the other player from FC Naples, just being able to get that danger away from whatever that was brewing by Sarasota Paradise, that was able to play without having the ball, good in recoveries and creating chances. That one was one of the first shots for FC Naples, ends up going wide, and then this other possibility, a great set piece, but nobody there to get a hold of the ball and do something different. And also this one, such a great ball also from Garrett, trying to get a good header. It was impossible, another one just by a few seconds. And this one was the last one, maybe the best one so far. Close range, ends up going from just a little bit up from the goal. We'll see if that same momentum that FC Naples had in the first half can be translated to the second half, and if substitutions are being made that can make such a different impact.
Julian Cisneros had that attempt at goal right before the half. So there were changes made at the half, so we will relay those to you as soon as we get them. Great crowd on hand for the first ever meeting between Sarasota Paradise and FC Naples, the first of what will be many come next season and beyond, when both teams are competing in USL League One. For now, the first matchup has a lot at stake. We'll move on to the second round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup in the 112th edition. Like we have everything cleared up, and we're underway in the second half. Who will advance? Who will go home? And remember, if we remain scoreless or tied at the end of 90 minutes, head to extra time, and if we're still locked up after that, go to PKs. Rojas tried to keep that one in along the touchline, but was unable to. So Cisneros will throw in for FC Naples. So no changes for either side made after the first half. Still no Carson Henderlong, who had the brace for FC Naples and their win against Forward Madison in league play over the weekend. We'll have to take that into account. Naples played a couple of days ago, back in action tonight with largely the same players aside from a few changes. Distance, it comes all the way on goal. Lalo Delgado, who made an excellent save in the first half. Best chance for Sarasota is there to corral that.
And definitely the only reason why there's no goals on the scoreboard is because of him and that great save.
See what adjustments FC Naples made. They seemed like they finally figured something out towards the end of the first half. But still, that final ball, that once they get into that final third, where's that creativity going to come from?
I think maybe in the phase that they were being outnumbered was the speed, because definitely Sarasota Paradise was in another level of speed throughout, and you could clearly see it.
Angel Velasquez, a big part of that in the first half. He played very well. Here is Cisneros for Cerro. Cerro gets it back. Cuts to the inside. Good ball. Flag was up for offside. Started the run just a little too early. Tyler Pasnick.
But with that, you can get an idea that they're going to keep that momentum from the first half. Great ball from Cerro. Just
That's
putting
really close.
Yeah, it was really close, but well done by the referees. And also a good idea, because if in the next one it's not in that wrong position, it could be perfect for them to find the possibility of a great shot on target.
Cerro goes down, draws the whistle. Kyle Carr committed the foul. Cerro is slow to get up.
Here's Cerro having the ball, that contact with Carr, and then just still on the floor. I think there was a little bit of an extra push maybe with the leg and his head once Carr was trying to get up. And then the hug and everything's fine.
So the free kick about to come here for FC Naples. Jake Dengler. Breck Evans. It's long to the near side. Out for a throw for Cisneros and FC Naples. Cisneros settles it down. Trying to feed it to the middle. And it was cut off. Perpa. Cerro's onside. Excellent defensive work from Juan Rojas. Excellent effort.
And Cisneros a little bit more freely over this flank was such a great idea. And like you said, a perfect definition on how to defend without committing any foul and in such a great area.
Check that was Pablo Herrera defending there. After an effort like that, want to make sure we give proper credit. Off the throw in. Sarasota gets one of their own. Just underway here in this second half. It's all the way back for Breck Evans. Surveying his options. Cerro. This is onside and just wide. Cisneros has had two of the best chances for FC Naples tonight. The first one went too high. This one a little bit too.
And look at that touch from Cerro. It seems so effortlessly, where he puts the ball, and then, like you said, Cisneros just trying to get closer to that ball, ends up going just by a little from the post. But definitely, I feel that they're getting closer to being the team who scores the first one of the night.
Even at the end of the first half and now into the start of the second, FC Naples has really turned it up a bit. Onan to the outside, Cerro. He's been strong here in the early going of this half. He tees it up from just outside the 18 and missed everything with that left foot. And you can see he's showing off some of his frustration.
Yeah, and if this was the one that he missed, imagine the ones that he does get into the goal. And something definitely changed with Cerro too after that conversation he had with the coach. He started acting different, taking another role in terms of going direct and towards the goal.
And not been bashful about at least attempting to fire on frame. Unfortunately for them, those shots from distance have not really tested Eric Walker all that much. Lalo Delgado, captain for FC Naples. Dengler. Onan, one of the club's first signings, loses it. Sarasota trying to counter, but not much that Kyle Carr could do there. He was cut off by Jake Dengler. The first 10 minutes has been spent almost exclusively on this half of the field. Some room here for Pasnik. Pasnik tried to slide it through to the cutting Onan. Sent away by Sarasota. So a throw in for FC Naples. We still look for the game's first breakthrough. Now there's a player down. Penalty area for Sarasota.
And in that chapter, in the defensive one, Sarasota Paradise has been surreal also. Just being able to outnumber every good opportunity of attack created by FC Naples, and just knowing exactly where to position themselves so they can disallow any good chance.
I don't think the trainer knew where
where to go, right?
Looks like Juan Rojas is okay. What a story it would be if these hometown heroes, who are not on the regular roster for Sarasota, only playing in the Open Cup because a lot of the regular signees for Sarasota are still at college. Back underway. Dengler. Tried a one-touch from Perpa. Give it away, and Sarasota can clear, but only for a throw-in. Again for FC Naples. I'm not sure, Carmen, how much longer Sarasota can afford to
Hold down the fort
yeah,
in the
not
back.
that they're sitting back here, but FC Naples certainly controlling the first 10-plus minutes of this second half.
Yeah, I think they've realized that they need to put so much more pressure until they find a good pocket of space for them to score that first one.
Cerro lost it and then committed the foul on Kyle Carr, who took a spill. looks like we will have our first substitutions of the match. Juan Rojas will exit. Entering for Sarasota, Nicholas Colaci. Saw some players on the FC Naples bench starting to get ready, get loosened. You'd imagine
For the
Matt Poland will start to pull some of those strings in a moment. Herrera lost it.
Juan Rojas.
Sarasota has certainly acquitted themselves well through almost an hour. Maybe they'll look back on some of those chances they had in the first half and think, oh, if we had just converted on those. Right now, FC Naples is controlling essentially everything here in this half. Herrera has to move back a bit. Certainly a better version of FC Naples to start this half, and really the one that we saw get its footing near the end of the first 45 minutes. Trying to spring past Nick, unable to. Pasnik applying pressure, Onin. Forces the giveaway. Onin gets it back, one of the club's first signings. Winner of this is likely moving on to face USL Championship side Hartford. Comes all the way to Walker, who's able to handle it. For it down that left side, won by Naples, but then taken away by Sarasota. Some room for them to counter. Nathan Lamb. Go in here. Stolen away by FC Naples, kept alive for Sarasota. Worm burner again, and this one's off target. Slivic, who made the attempt.
Yeah, he had to take the risk, right? Great shot with his left foot, just trying to get closer to the goal, ends up going wide, and now we see the two substitutions for this second half. It's Henderlong. You were talking about how he could bring in the goals after those two first goals for him in the last game. And then, of course, Ferrin, the Colombian player who's really fast and scored the first goal in the first game.
He replaces Cerro. By the way, that Hartford match against New York Shockers has gone final. 3-0 win for Hartford Athletic, and they will face the winner of this Sarasota Paradise FC Naples match. So Henderlong in, Torres out, Ferrin in, Cerro out. It's a good ball, but having to be aggressive, Eric Walker is out there to meet it. After the give and go. It's not on the same page there. Solari on the go end of the give.
First half, they end up with 7 shots, none on target. Second half, it's already 2, and with the substitutions.
Number 9, Carson Henderlaw.
Oh, he's just saying this. Are we late for another one?
We're on top of things here. Come on, Carl.
Andres Farron in for number 30.
Heckenberg.
Ian Serra.
Treats. He's back to Jake Dengler. Nice defensive work again by Sarasota. Race for it. Won by Sarasota. It's Kyle Carr, and Carr could not put it on frame. Oh, he had Jake Dengler beat.
It was a great chance for Carr, you know, stealing the ball from here. Of course, it had to be who if not Velasquez. And then the other Dangler. He did everything in his way to stop allowing him any good possibility of getting a shot on goal. And of course, not another player going in this counter for Sarasota Paradise to be able to do something more.
Certainly the best chance for Sarasota this half as Carr takes a spill, and that will draw a yellow. Dangler gets booked.
Yeah, great done by Dangler in just a play before this one, but then, you know, leaving that leg behind for the second yellow card of the match and the first one for FC Naples.
Nikola Slivic was booked on the other side for Sarasota back in the first half. 65th minute. Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup first round.
Are we up for extra time, or you think this is going to be solved in the 90? What do you think?
I think we get a goal, at least one here in regulation. It'll be off this set piece. No. Lalo Delgado leaps to meet it and tries to start the counter the other way, but unable to connect.
He's really fast too. You
Yeah,
know?
that's what he brings.
Yeah.
Carr, who just nearly made it 1-0, lost it. Herrera. Last touch by Cisneros, so a throw in here for Sarasota.
You know what, and we have to give another mention to La Barra 239. They haven't stopped throughout the whole match, just giving their all out for FC Naples.
Henderlong catches up to it. Can he give his supporters a chance for something to cheer about? Henderlong earns the corner.
And definitely well done by Henderlong. Everything was done there to try to stop them. But then defensively here, it was not the goalkeeper. It was number 21, right? Yeah, Herrera was the one who put that ball away.
So corner coming here for Naples. 67th minute. Whipped in. Back post. Header! Goalie was out of position, and the deflection went wide.
Yeah, it was close, but not in the right spot for him to be able to connect it. Just ends up going by itself.
Eric Walker very fortunate there.
Yeah.
He was out of position, missed the punch. box and point to the spot. There it is. Nikola Slivic fouled in the penalty area, and Sarasota will have an opportunity from the spot to take the lead here in the second half.
And he couldn't even believe it. Well done by Slivic. And then that little tackle by Cisneros.
I think that looked a lot worse in real time than it actually was.
And
Cisneros couldn't believe it.
His face is like, how did that even happen? It was definitely close, but the referee who was in front, Courage, decided there was no doubt.
Here's a look at it one more time. Maybe a grab of the jersey.
I think it's the pull of the jersey.
That is a tough one for Cisneros, and one that Sarasota will certainly take.
You know, the worst of the PKs for me, it's the pull of the jerseys, because it's just a natural movement, right? You want to get a hold of whatever you can in front of you.
So it's Chris Solari who steps to the spot against Lalo Delgado. Solari, ready. Here it comes. Stopped! Big save! Lalo Delgado again. Oh, Solari will be seeing that in his nightmares. FC Naples still with plenty of life.
And you know, just to see it one more time, there's the pull. We get it, we understand. Sometimes they call it divine justice, and then you can call it Lalo Delgado just being great, extending himself down. Not the best shot coming definitely from Solari in this one also.
How does that swing the momentum here in the final 20 minutes of this match?
We were saying we could get at least one. Got denied by Lalo.
It's the second time. Remember, Lalo Delgado had a massive save in the first half as well in the run of play. This one, he stops a penalty. Ball swung in. Header. Who got last touch? And it's a goal kick. It's a good ball in.
Yeah, it was a good chance, you know, the only pocket of space, well down, such a great curve, and just trying to fight Velasquez, I think it was, for him to connect with that ball.
Naples kind of settle things down and regroup.
Lalo already saved you twice. Now it's time to give it back. And for Sarasota, Paradise, like you said, sometimes whenever you're like losing those big chances, you start regretting it, and then the ones that you don't score, you end up receiving.
Because you just wonder how many more
you're going to get.
Exactly. Flag was up for offside. Cisneros with room. Cisneros too heavy of a touch. And Panozzo is able to cut it off. And it's out for a goal kick.
Final 20 plus stoppage.
Walker goes short. Again, the winner of this advances to take on USL Championship side Hartford Athletic, who blanked New York Shockers 3-0 earlier tonight. Pasnik went down. Foul, of course, is on Sarasota. Julian Cisneros, by the way, was booked for a yellow on the foul that led to the penalty for Sarasota that Lalo Delgado denied. We got another sub here. Nikola Slivic will exit. And Antonio Kalachi will enter. So we got a couple of Kalachis in there. For Sarasota now here in this second half. Nicholas and now Antonio enter the match, and as you can see, Naples getting set to make a couple of subs as well.
In for number 19, Nicola.
Kevin O'Connor and Max Glasser getting ready to sub in. Glasser does enter. Cisneros takes a seat. As does Luca Perpa. The Irishman Kevin O'Connor, California native Michael Glasser enter for FC Naples. 74th minute. Still looking for the game's first breakthrough. If we remain scoreless or tied at the end of regulation, we will head to extra time and potentially PKs.
Substitution for Naples, number 3, Julian Cisneros. In for number 4, Michael Gasser. Number 14, Kevin O'Connor. In for number 22, Luke Pepper.
Throw in here for Sarasota. Lamb in the midfield. Resets with Kalachi. The other Kalachi. Kalachi is in, but off the line. Lalo Delgado, aggressive. Now Delgado is slow to get up. What a massive match he's had. The only reason why Naples is still in this one.
And such a great true ball. And then, of course, the possibility for Nicolas Kolachi to do something. And then he ends up injuring himself a little bit. But now he's up, so this is the good news, right? And then the fall here.
Did they get FC Naples for a foul? Let's take a look back at why we are still scoreless.
The moment of the match so far.
Absolutely. Slivic making a run, gets around Cisneros. There you see the jersey pull. After that, the initial jersey pull happened outside the box, but the penalty was awarded. And Chris Solari denied emphatically by Lalo Delgado, the FC Naples captain. FC Naples not out of the woods here yet. A free kick coming. A set-piece opportunity for Sarasota here in the 77th minute.
And both Ward and Lamb behind the ball. But Velasquez is not feeling well, and maybe he's going to be the next substitution because he's walking outside.
He's had a strong match, Angel Velasquez, utilizing that speed all throughout the first half. So Travis Ward stands over it. Here comes Ward's service in. Goes for goal and missed it by a ton. So Velasquez comes out.
Substitution for the Sarasota Paradise. Number 13.
Javier Salgado enters for him.
In for number 25, Angel Velasquez.
FC Naples trying to capitalize on the momentum from the stop PK. There in the corner after Pasnik tried to cross one in. Here comes the corner. Back post. Header! Naples breaks through! And who else? It's Carson Enderlong off the corner. He may have just sent FC Naples through to the second round.
And it was the price of holding on, having the ball, getting yourself there, set piece, corner, a perfect header. See the level of hate that he takes up to be able to connect that ball. Surreal, and then of course the celebration with older fans that made the trip. And like you said, the goal coming from the bench from the player who scored a brace in their last match, and he puts the first one of the night 12 minutes away from the end.
Carson Henderlong, he had the brace against Forward Madison, and FC Naples' first ever win in League One play. And now he gives them their first ever goal in the U.S. Open Cup and the lead in the 79th minute.
And if you want to take a look of a video of how to get a perfect corner goal coming like that from a header, this is the perfect definition of it.
And you just got to think about what is going through the minds of Sarasota Paradise on the pitch, on the bench, in the stands. After that PK was stonewalled by Lalo Delgado. Felt like Naples was in the direction towards the first goal of the match, and they do get it, courtesy of Carson Henderlong. Can Sarasota answer? There's still time. Onan. Long ball. Flag was up. Pasnik didn't agree. He thought he timed his run.
Another one, it's been 4 offsides throughout the whole match. Just clear of how fast they want to end up going after they get in possession of the ball. Great recovery in the midfield. And then such a great long ball to find the player in that right flank.
Sarasota threatening. Ball floated in. Takes a deflection. Herrera lost it. And it's cleared away.
Come on, fans. Let's go Paradise!
Crowd trying to get behind their squad as Enzo Pinozo will throw in. Went to a crowded area, got through everybody. The intended target was Kyle Carr, and a goal kick is coming for Lalo Delgado, who, if not for Carson Henderlong, the goal scorer, has been the best player on the pitch for FC Naples. Massive save in the first half in the run of play, stopped the penalty in this second half. All leading up to Henderlong's header.
And O'Connor with the corner.
Yeah.
So the goal definitely comes from the bench.
Absolutely. Missed a good opportunity for a pun. He wasn't Henderlong there, he was Headerlong. Thank you. Thank you.
1-0 for you.
Thank you. 1-0 for FC Naples as well. O'Connor. Nicely done. Pasnick. To the outside it comes for Glasser. Back for Pasnick. He tees it up. Back post again. A little bit too tall. Could this be the moment for Sarasota? Sent out in front! And just unable to get to it, Chris Solari.
Definitely, if they have one thing at their favor is how fast they are. And then just following through with the play, Solari, just in the middle of the field, could have gotten earlier to that ball. I don't think so. Still try to reach any way possible to send it to the back of the net, ends up going wide.
Just got to wonder how many more opportunities Sarasota will have at equalizing and forcing extra time. Pablo Herrera to throw in. Shoved off. That's excellent work by Naples. Unable to clear though. Thankfully for FC Naples, it's harmlessly in the arms of Lalo Delgado. Comes out to meet it. 85th minute. Goal by Carson Henderlong off the bench on a corner. In the 79th. Carr, whistle blows, offside. Flag was up. Carr. Too far for him. With the 1-0 advantage. A date with Hartford Athletic looming in the second round of the Open Cup. Matt Poland, head coach for FC Naples, 8-2-0 as a coach in U.S. Open Cup play. On a magical run to the third round a couple of years ago with Chicago House before losing to Chicago Fire. The throw in. Herrera flicks it, and another throw in coming for FC Naples. The FC Naples supporters who made the about 2-hour trip to Lakewood Ranch, hoping their side can hang on. in the club's first ever Open Cup match. But a great ball ahead, behind the defense. Oh, and Delgado makes another save, but cleaning it up and equalizing, Nicholas Colaci. They're alive here at Lakewood Ranch for Sarasota Paradise.
And what a moment, such a great through ball. Nicolas Colaci, perfect. You know, that's what he had to do. He had the goalkeeper there, find a spot, get the shot, and Lalo, one way or the other, gets to touch the ball, but with not so much power to stop it to go in. And what a moment, 3 minutes from the end, you get the equalizer leveling this. Are we going to extra time, or we still have time for it to be solved in the 90 minutes?
There's still
Oh
time.
my God.
Colaci to Colaci. What a ball.
Yes.
To spring Nicholas by Antonio.
And it was just a moment of losing that ball, losing the position. And again, the best thing that Sarasota Paradise have had has been the speed. And they, again, Nicolas Colaci coming from the bench, he definitely had it.
Of all the chances Sarasota's had, mainly that penalty earlier in this half, that's got to feel good for them. And if you're Chris Solari, a breath, a deep one, a sigh of relief for him. And now FC Naples, they have to regroup.
Wow.
Dangler. Connor had to take it off his foot by Lamb, but a throw-in. O'Connor, who assisted on the goal by Henderlong. Gets it back. Tried to feed it through. Wow. Looked like Enzo Panozzo after the defensive play there. Bit of a celebration right in the face of Tyler Pasnick. Kyle Carr went down. Play continues. Glasser
there will be 5 minutes
slides it left.
extra time.
Dangler. We have 5 minutes of added time, and if nobody can take the lead, we will head to extra time. Pop towards the middle. Header! Oh, what a save! And then O'Connor buries it! Naples back in front. Scenes here in the first round of the Open Cup. Do you believe it? What a play to get it started. And O'Connor, who assisted on the first goal, denied on the first attempt. And Walker, nothing he could do. It came right back, and O'Connor buried it.
And the lesson from this play, you don't ever give up. It was not out of play, kept it in, put it in the box. O'Connor with the first shot, denied by Walker, and then again in the second chance, O'Connor didn't fail, giving the assist, and now the goal. We're 4 minutes away. Anything can happen. Goal started coming in. We'll see how this ends.
Naples goal.
And right after O'Connor was taunted, he gives a little shh of his own to the home side here in Lakewood Ranch. And I know March Madness just started, but this might be where the real madness lies. Naples, though, has to defend here for the final few minutes to move on to face Hartford Athletic in the second round. What a match. What a second half.
And if they end up making it through, the next match is going to be at their home. It's going to be an amazing feeling for sure after
Bringing
this match.
A USL championship side. Their substitution here for FC Naples. Roscoe Rubenstein will place Tyler Pasnick. Native of Weston, Florida.
Substitution for Naples, number 24, Roscoe Rubenstein. In for number 7.
Down in South Florida, playing for FC Naples. 1.5, 2-hour drive. Foul committed. And now a free kick opportunity in the waning moments for Sarasota Paradise.
Aside from the result, moments like this where teams are starting to be built are moments that give you the fan base that you need and the memory to start creating such a long-term support from the bleachers.
This is the first chapter in what would be many matchups in the coming years between Sarasota and Naples. Here comes the delivery. Into a crowded set of bodies. Deflected away. And out for a throw-in after Glasser last touched. Long throw into the area, popped up into the air, and a foul on Sarasota Paradise. Now just waiting for that final whistle. What a matchup here. In the first round of the Open Cup, a date with Hartford Athletic awaits. FC Naples, a goal in the 79th by Carson Henderlong. Nicholas Colaci tied it in the 88th. And then in the first minute of added time, Kevin O'Connor, off his own rebound, put home the go-ahead. Henderlong takes a spill. Oh, boy. You hate to see that. You really do. This has been such a strong and entertaining match. You hate to see Javon Rodriguez getting into it, pushing and shoving with members of the opposition. And look at that, Lalo Delgado, the captain for FC Naples, all the way out from goal.
Yeah, the worst part is for the team that's moving through. You don't want to get any red card, not allowing one of your players to be able to be available for that game. But of course, you're only human and we get it, right?
So here's what happened.
There you go.
Javon Rodriguez, I'm not sure what he's all that upset about. I mean, he's the one who committed the foul. He got up and immediately shoved Henderlong, who essentially just kind of blew him off and walked away and then tried to fire up his side supporters.
Oh.
And there was a red card given
to Javon, right?
To Javon Rodriguez. And he has to exit. So until we get the final whistle these last couple of minutes,
like
Sarasota will be down a man.
It seems like he didn't show it up until he left.
And there's the yellow issued to Henderlong. I feel like we've had
what a game.
Full match worth of action in the last 15 minutes of game action. So Javon Rodriguez picks up the red after getting up and shoving members of FC Naples, starting with Carson Henderlong. Delgado also got a yellow.
But he was a peacemaker.
Well, he still came all the way out from his goal on the opposite end of the
could have said something that you and I didn't hear.
Chris Heckenberg puts it into the corner. Takes a deflection off of FC Naples, and it will be a goal kick. Sarasota playing with 10 men. Likely their last gasp here. Panozzo speeds through the middle. Springs one down the side. Out of the reach of his intended target. And this will be a throw-in for Max Glasser and FC Naples.
Is this the final play, or we're going a few more minutes?
Seems like we're going a little bit longer. And then another shove to the back. We might get another card, and we will. This one on Panozzo. That was a forearm shiver to the back of Max Glasser. And at this point, if you're the referee,
call it quits.
You might as well blow the final whistle before this really gets out of hand. And you can see Matt Poland unhappy with the actions of Sarasota over the last couple of moments.
Yeah, because you don't want any big injury either, you know.
Right. I mean, look, unless a miracle happens, Naples has a second-round matchup coming against Hartford. It's not over yet.
Anything can happen in soccer.
Absolutely. Again, put into the corner. Out for a throw-in, and there is the final whistle. A first-round classic in the first ever meeting between FC Naples and Sarasota Paradise. It's FC Naples who moves on to round 2.
And I think it's definitely such a great debut for both of the teams on this game. In one way, Sarasota, with the home heroes, they were able to put a great game in front of FC Naples, but at the end of the day, they were able to solve it.
So let's take a look at our full-time highlight. And a 2-1 final. The FC Naples faithful who made the trip up to Lakewood Ranch will go home happy. And they'll have a date in the second round with USL Championship side, Hartford Athletic. Well, for our entire crew, Carmen Boquin, I'm Josh Appel. Thanks so much for spending part of your Tuesday night with us. If this is a lead-in for the things to come in this edition of the U.S. Open Cup, we are in for a treat. Naples takes down Sarasota in round 1. 2-1 is your final. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you next time.